Can you smell what the Ken Frederick Podcast is cooking? That's right, everybody. Today is episode 23. That was great.
Welcome to 23.
And we are doing a whole episode about The Rock.
Right.
Why are we doing a whole episode about The Rock?
Because he's freaking awesome. That's why.
Yep. And I saw a movie that he was in last weekend.
Called
That's kind of what I was looking
Yeah.
for.
Central Intelligence.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
The cheese is not doing the movie review this week.
No.
Yay.
I actually paid money when I saw a movie at the movie theater with my girlfriend, so
Wow.
because she loves The Rock. But
Who doesn't
doesn't
love
love
The
The
Rock?
that's the truth. That's what this is.
What other guy could get a whole podcast dedicated to him?
Yep. But first, we got to do the things we got to do. So, if you stumbled across us on the interwebs, thanks for listening. You check us out at kfpodcast.com, facebook.com/kfpodcast, and on the Twitter at KenFredPodcast.
Right.
We got Justin and Dawn. You've already heard from them already.
Yo.
Let's get started on Rock stuff
Okay. So, Central Intelligence was his new movie,
with Kevin Hart.
which I thought looked good. I just didn't get a chance to go see it. So, tell us about it.
All right, so it's actually kind of strange. I really like the movie, and it's not what you'd think. Like, you think The Rock, because he's jacked, big guy, he's like you think he would be the alpha male of the situation, but he's not. Kevin Hart is like the high school, most likely to succeed.
He was like the popular kid.
Yeah, he was like the all-star of all the sports teams.
Well,
Like,
wasn't The Rock fat?
The Rock was fat.
And singing En Vogue in the
Yep.
trailer.
Oh, so much fat Rock in this movie, singing, and you know what, I like it. The movie was great because it didn't need a lot of time to set up. It's just like bam, bam. Here's the backstory. Now we're gonna get into the story,
Okay.
and it was hilarious. I think that those two have a chemistry togetger. Well, The
Yeah.
Rock's got great chemistry.
Yeah,
with
he
everybody.
does. He has chemistry with everybody.
Yeah, but those two together is just hilarious because like there's one scene like early on whenever I forgot his name now. Chris Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin
Kevin
Hart.
Hart. Chris Hart was his brother.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, it was like all mixed up in my head. So Kevin Hart and The Rock were at this like club and they meet for the first time since high school. Rock's all being The Rock and he's wearing a fanny pack and he's like, "What are you doing wearing a fanny pack?" Where he's like, "Oh, you like us? It's leather. It's to keep all my special things in it. I got one at home. I'll give you one too." And it's just he's like, he's wearing like a unicorns t-shirt.
That's like a throwback to that like really bad early 90s, late 80s picture of him where he's wearing a turtleneck
and-
with the leather
Yeah.
fanny
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah. That's what he was, Rocky Maivia.
Yeah, and what's great too is he's got like this unicorn. He goes, "I love unicorns. They're magical. They fill you up. They're the best animals of all time." And he's like, he plays like a theme throughout the movie is like in certain situations he's still like a timid fat kid,
Yeah.
but he's the freaking Rock. Like he's jacked and he's
He's
huge. Yeah, the movie's hilarious. I don't want to spoil too much of it. I think you should go see it because I don't want to give away all the funny parts. But there's
Okay.
like a ton of stuff. The whole story is they're trying to find someone. Kevin Hart doesn't know if you should trust The Rock or not. They're trying to find
Is Kevin Hart working the CIA?
No, he is an accountant, and they come to him because he needs to figure out some
Okay.
accounting stuff. And Kevin Hart's smart. He's got a hot wife, but he's like,
Well,
He
doesn't
always
he
has
also?
a hot wife.
Yeah, he works that out in every
Yeah.
one of his
well, yeah.
movies.
Well, if Adam Sandler can always have a hot
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart can have a hot
Because
wife.
his wife and Ride Along's really hot.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
And
But doesn't Kevin Hart play like the straight man in
Yeah.
this movie?
Yeah.
Which is a big turnaround because he's the comedian.
Oh yeah. But I think because he's a comedian, he plays a straight guy perfectly. Because he's like, "I don't want to be in," and The Rock's like, "Well, I know you don't want to be in, but like, if you're out, then they'll think you're in." And he's like, "I don't understand what you're saying right now." It just gets all like hyphy and it's upset about it. And it's hilarious.
is it safe for kids or is it rated R?
I don't think there's any nudity, but there's some swearing. I think it's PG, like a hard PG-13.
A hard PG-13. That's a new rating system. That's an HPG-13. It's a hard PG-13.
It is PG-13.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for looking that up there, Cheeseball.
There's actually a couple surprise people that I wasn't expecting in the movie. Jason Bateman's in the movie, and he is hilarious.
Oh, Jason
He's
Bateman's
hilarious in
great in
everything.
everything he does.
So the guy that threw The Rock out in naked as a fat kid, it turns out to be Jason Bateman as a kid. So they have to go and get his help for something. And there's a whole scene where he's like, spoilers, if you don't want to know how stuff happens, that's funny. Deal with it. And he's like, "Oh, I'm a born again Christian. I feel real bad about this." And he's like going on, and he's like, "You know what? I really feel bad that I didn't do it again. He goes, "You're an idiot." And it's just Jason Bateman is a jerk, and it's hilarious.
That's great.
And The Rock always talks about having this crush on a girl with two lazy eyes who's a synchronized swimmer. And like through the movie comes out, he's like, "Oh, it's synchronized swimming. It's so hot." And Kevin Hart's like, "Yeah, okay." And there's a girl with two lazy eyes, and he meets her at like and it all is around their like high school reunion.
Yeah.
And it comes back, and it's the girl from she was with Jason Bateman in that one movie, the large girl. Oh, I can't remember her name now. She's in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah. We can't get her name.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Justin?
Yeah,
Not by that description.
The chick that's in Ghostbusters that lost a lot of weight and got thin recently.
She looks good now.
Oh, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
She's the girl with two eyes. Like
with two eyes?
With two eyes.
lazy
Two lazy eyes.
That's why I don't do all the movie reviews. But yeah, she's the one with two lazy eyes, and she takes her glasses off, and they're like all over the place. And of course, in this scene too, like The Rock's got he's just all muscles, and she keeps just rubbing his rubbing his chest over and over again.
That's good.
But I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Was it long?
It wasn't. It was like it was good. It was like the perfect like. All right, it was like
perfect movie. Central Intelligence.
It was like It was maybe almost 2 hours.
Okay.
It was 2.5 hours.
It didn't seem like
that long.
150. Oh no! I'm sorry.
Oh, we
read
can't
that
convert
wrong.
time.
No, it's an hour. It's 2 hours. Hour and 54 minutes. I read that as 154 minutes.
Okay. So we're not going to do cheese wheels because that's his thing. So what we decided earlier at the store is, Ken started wearing bandanas everywhere.
I'm not.
So we're going to give it bandanas.
How many bandanas?
Out of 5 bandanas, how many bandanas would you rate this movie?
I think 4 bandanas.
4 bandanas?
It was good. This is
Wow.
a movie. This is the movie that you'll watch on HBO every time it's on.
Every time it's on.
And
Okay.
we'll be quoting stuff from it, and you will be joking around about it.
A year from now, we're just quoting it.
Yeah.
See, now I want to go see it in the theater, and I don't have time.
Why? What the hell do you got going on? What are you so busy about?
I got plans this weekend.
What? You're in a wedding.
Not in a wedding. I'm going to a wedding.
You're getting married this week.
And then you're you didn't tell me we were getting married this week. And then you're
Justin offered me a processing system, and it has been the best engagement ever.
He put a ring on it.
And then I want to go and see
Independence Day.
the new Independence Day.
Which is gonna suck
Just
hard.
go see Central Intelligence.
Just go see
Probably
Central
should.
Intelligence.
I'll go see Independence Day on Tuesday for $5
The
night.
second Independence Day looks like it's just a sci-fi remake.
It's gonna be a sci-fi explosion porn movie.
Oh yeah, it's so much destruction.
Destruction
All right,
porn.
we're not talking about it. We're talking about The Rock, and he's not in that movie because he
Nope.
would make it better.
he would make it
would
better.
absolutely make
All right,
that movie
so
better.
good. 4 out of 5 bandanas. We're excited to go see it,
Yeah,
people.
I rarely go to a movie that doesn't have superheroes or some kind of nerd
Me
reference.
too.
Rock
Yeah.
is a superhero though, so
He is.
No, I don't. This was I go and see a comedy, and it was really good. And also a little bit, they did like, I love when a movie does outtakes at the end during the credits.
Me too. I love outtakes and
And
credits.
the whole credits is outtakes. I'm like, this is great.
Oh,
And
it's great.
And there's one where Kevin Hart's like, it's like, you look like you're something about making fun of people that like, it's like, you're like some kind of jerk like Hercules. And he goes off, he's like, or some asshole like The Rock. And he's like, that's not a real person. You just made up your own name. You can't do that. It's going off. It was funny. It was a lot better than I've described any of the movie.
Good. So, speaking of The Rock, and movies that we like, he has some movies coming up, which I looked up and wrote a few down here. I want to get your opinions on them. I'm really excited to see The Rock in this Baywatch remake.
Are you excited to see The Rock or the rest of the
No,
cast?
I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be, because it's supposed to be like action, but there's going to be some levels of comedy in it too.
Well, from what I heard, this is going to be more like this 21 Jump Street movie. This is going to be a raunchy, R-rated remake of comedy.
Because it's got, what's his name? I almost said Zach Galifianakis. Like, that's who's in this goddamn
Zac
movie.
Efron.
Zac Efron. I mean, what a difference in people there. But it's got Zac Efron, who to me, I used to think Zac Efron was like a total.
Did
Like,
you used to think he was supposed to be a little bit Nancy?
he's a total douche. I mean, what was he in High School Musical and all that? And then since Neighbors, he is such a badass and hilarious. in movies.
I want to see him in that movie with the guy from Workaholics.
Oh yeah. Oh God, does that movie look funny?
Well, it's got the chick from Scott Pilgrim. In it.
Oh, that movie.
Actually, both chicks.
Isn't it called like Mike and Dave?
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. I really want to see that.
Is that out yet?
I just a couple weeks ago watched Dirty Grandpa.
That was
with
funny.
him and Robert De Niro.
That was good.
There were a couple scenes in that movie I've never laughed harder in a movie.
Yeah.
Seeing Robert De Niro be that dirty was amazing.
It was
And
good.
arousing.
But we're going off topic.
Yeah.
All right, so Baywatch looks good with him in it because I think that'll be, and yeah, I mean, there's a ton of eye candy in that movie,
Yeah.
and they have like kind of like a chubby guy that's in that movie with him as the
They're
comic relief.
making fun of the new dad bod craze with this dude now online. So
I don't really care about another Fast and the Furious movie, even though The Rock's in it. I know he makes it better being in it because Vin Diesel's annoying.
Did you see the picture of like The Rock's got like now a weird goatee?
A
and he's,
huge goatee.
and he's like a biker in this?
I don't know what he is. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. How many more of these can they make?
well, they're talking about doing Fast and Furious up to number 10.
Right.
They're actually talking about doing a spin-off of just The Rock's character Hobbs.
I'm fine with that because then it could be the Hobbs and the Calvin and Hobbs. I'd like to see a young boy imagine The Rock as his best friend as a
That
tiger.
would be amazing.
And he's just that character. But Fast 7 made so much money because Paul Walker died, and everybody went to see his last movie. I don't think this one's going to be able to follow that movie up because you look up like all-time biggest like box office hits.
It made
Fast
over
7's on there,
it made
which is
over $1
ridiculous.
billion.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, but this one I don't think will be as good.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it'll
know.
still make a ton of money.
Yeah, because people are still
People love that. Like,
they do.
It's car action porn.
How many times are you going to say porn? Was it this one or the last one you were with the porn? It was something porn. Everything's porn with you. It's porn. It's rock action porn. What are you talking about? Car action porn? Is it people out having sex in a car?
No, it's just a bunch of nice
Look at his
fancy
face.
cars. Like
you just
I'm
totally
just
cut him off.
flabbergasted.
Look at his face when I'm talking about it. It's great. All right. So, other than the porno in a car movie that he's making, he got cast as Doc Savage, which
I'm excited about.
are you?
Oh, it's
Who
a
is
very,
Doc Savage?
Doc Savage is a character from probably, guessing probably 1930s. He's a comic character that they use a lot as a noir kind of like detective.
He's the world's first superhero.
Exactly, and he was always considered the Bronze Man.
Was he made out of bronze?
No, he always had like a skin color of bronze. Like he was dark and like
Why was that?
I don't know. It's how they just drew
He was an
him.
adventurer, wasn't he? That
Yeah.
I figured he was just tan.
Because I looked it up
Yeah.
to see if he had like copper powers.
No, he had no powers. He was just a dude.
But he was good at like ridiculously everything.
Yeah, he was.
He was like a doctor.
He was the Rock in real life.
He was a scientist.
Yeah.
He was an action guy. He was strong. He was a marksman.
Yeah, he
It's
was
like
great.
He did do it all.
He was.
I love that
great.
he was a doctor too.
Yeah, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I think it'll be good. This could be like.
Because this isn't considered DC or Marvel. Because DC and Marvel both had a shot at Doc Savage.
Doc Savage is a
he's
public
like
property.
a public property.
Yeah, because of how
like-
long he's been created, much like Tarzan
Or Zorro.
or John Carter,
stuff like that.
kind of stuff.
So this one isn't going to be produced in a Marvel or DC format.
And I actually wouldn't even think of it as like a superhero. I know that the characters
Like an
that
Indiana
all-
Jones type movie.
He's very much like Indiana Jones.
This will compete heavily with the Uncharted if they do. An
I actually
Uncharted
think that this is going to be his James Bond, where he's going to be like, I got to go stop this guy. I'm using all my wits.
Yeah,
and
a firefighter and a paramedic
Yeah.
and a doctor and an
Yeah.
engineer,
Yeah.
run a comic store.
yeah,
Does
okay.
it all. So then he has that, and speaking of comic book movies, he's cast to be in Shazam
as Black Adam.
as Black Adam.
Yeah.
Which,
I don't know who you find to fight him.
I mean, if you don't know who Shazam is, and he's going to be a part of this whole Justice League stuff and the DC movies, the Batman vs Superman genre that they have going on, and The Rock's playing his arch nemesis. He's going to look huge.
Oh.
I mean, he's way bigger than Superman.
Oh, yeah.
He's gigantic. And I don't know what guy they're going to have to play Shazam.
There's a rumored theory going around that they're gonna have a kid play Billy Batson, and they're going to have The Rock do both characters.
Both characters?
That he will end up being Shazam and Black Adam.
That would be kind of strange. They don't really look alike in the comics, do they?
No, not at all. Because in the backstory, Billy Batson, whenever he goes into Shazam,
he just is grown up.
It's his grown-up version.
Yeah.
Where Black Adam
that could be
is an Egyptian.
That could be some bullshit YouTube theory that I saw on some website. But,
definitely a bullshit YouTube
theory.
But
I that was one of the things that somebody said. Well, maybe because that's what everybody says is, who are you going to get to cast opposite
Black
The Rock?
Adam is an Egyptian.
Yeah.
And when he got
and
all
The Rock can pull that off.
Yeah, he can pull off the Egyptian.
I mean,
look.
you've seen him in the Scorpion King, or when he just walks, he walks like an Egyptian.
You asshole. I thought you were serious. Like I was like, what is he talking about his posture for? And then you go in there and walk like an Egyptian. So yeah, that'll be funny to see. And he'll stand next to Superman, and Superman will look like a little kid next
But
to
then
him.
also make it seem like he's The Rock should win, which he should.
Which he should.
But
so those are the only ones I caught an interest in. I know there are a bunch. I mean, if you look on him on IMDb,
his IMDb page is ridiculous.
He's going to do a remake of Jumanji. He has like another
starring opposite Kevin Hart.
Really?
Oh, they're supposed to be working on that together.
More of those Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Those were so bad.
There's like two more of those coming out. I don't know. Another San Andreas where that was just The Rock fights an earthquake.
Rock fights an earthquake.
Yeah, I mean that's all that was. Skyscraper. That sounds like The Rock
fighting a building.
Yeah,
they're talking about
there's a movie,
Rampage.
Yeah,
the old video game Rampage.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's he supposed to be doing? He's just
I don't know.
He's
Is
just
he going to be
beating
the
up-
big gorilla?
he's
Just beating up
fighting
buildings?
gorillas and dinosaurs and stuff like that.
I don't know.
I love it though. There's one just called out here. The untitled Dwayne Johnson action comedy. Like really all they're just saying is, look, you take The Rock, it's going to be funny, there's action in it, put somebody next to him, boom, it writes itself.
Yeah.
You know.
I would like us three to lobby for to be a part of that movie somehow.
I'd love to be in it. And
putting
then there's the untitled Larry Hillenbaum project, whatever the hell that means. So yeah, he's got so many movies coming up. The guy's, I tell you what, when he first broke into movies, I didn't think it would take off. I thought like he would be like Hulk Hogan made a movie once and it was okay. And then, man, he just exploded.
Because I think he's actually worked on acting. I think he's gone and done acting lessons, and he's actually worked and tried to become an actor.
Right.
Because he's been in
just so
some,
likable.
Yeah, and he's got all that charisma, but he's actually been in some movies that were more drama element with
he's
some
done a
action in
couple.
there, and he was really quite good.
So what's your favorite movie he's ever in?
It's stupid. The Rundown.
That's mine! God damn
Yes!
it!
Yes! With him and Sean William
Oh,
Scott.
talk about chemistry.
Yeah.
Those two
that
were great
was
together.
Outstanding.
Did you ever see The Rundown?
Yeah, it's been a while.
The Rundown was great. Christopher Walken, all the fight scenes with like the little Aborigine guys that he did, or whatever those little dudes were. You know, that movie is just great.
Yeah.
Everything about it is great. I love when he beats up the whole offensive line in the beginning and the
Yeah.
end, though.
Yep.
You know, and the quarterback. That's a great movie.
When he calls in, they got a chance to repeat this year, man. I don't want to hurt these guys.
And they're like, hurt him, and they're all huge. They got the biggest dudes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To cast in that movie that he just whips their ass. It's hilarious. But yeah, The Rundown's my favorite. That's one of my favorites. I also liked them in
I actually kind of liked it. Walking Tall.
Walking Tall. That's what it was. Yeah,
That-
where he was the sheriff.
That
Johnny Knoxville's in that movie.
Yes, and that movie, I liked him in that movie, but that movie overall bugged me a little bit.
Oh, yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you have the local drug dealer all of a sudden be here like lieutenant or your whatever he was part of the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville. Those movies, it felt like when he made those movies before, he was typecast in the same role. There's a problem. He's a big badass dude. He's going to beat a lot of people up. And that's basically what it was. Where now he's in movies where, like, he's doing comedy, he's doing other different things, you know.
Was The Rock and Gem and the Holograms?
It said he was in there, but I'm
wondering-
never going to watch that movie,
No,
so I'm not going to
I'm
see
wondering,
it.
it said as himself, though, I think, didn't
Right.
it?
I think
they're
he
watching-
just probably, like, was probably, like, in a nightclub scene or so. Who knows? I mean, it's weird. I saw that, too, and I skipped right by it. Like, I'm never watching that movie, so don't have to worry about that. Do you watch a show on HBO, Ballers?
I've watched a few episodes of season 1. I haven't seen the whole thing
It's
yet.
pretty good. I tell you what, it's a different side of him because like he swear. You know, you don't hear The Rock swear like on wrestling or any of that stuff, and like he swears and like he had a couple sex scenes in it which are really strange. Like
yeah.
you know, like this isn't what I'm used to seeing, but it's a pretty good show about like being a sports agent, and some of these players and what they get and how they spend their money and waste their money. And, he says there was a great line in the one, like, you never buy a car, they just rent these cars because you're going to end up losing it anyway and you're going to crash it. And, it's a pretty cool idea for a movie. And the guy that's in it with him is pretty funny, too.
Was that the guy from Anchorman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked him in G.I. Joe Retaliation. He was good in that.
I never saw that one yet.
That was good. Because he was Roadblock, which is great.
Yeah.
What's the worst movie he was ever in?
For me, it's a tie. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to hate on me because he was cute in these movies.
Okay.
The Tooth Fairy and The Game Plan.
Yeah. Those are kind of like those stupid movies that they have to make every once in a while.
And I will admit, he was good with the little kids in those movies.
Pain and Gain. That was the movie I was thinking of with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, okay.
He was good in that.
He was really... And that was a different side of him, too, because he was like a coked out...
Yeah, that was
crazy
funny.
person.
Mm-hmm. He was good in The Other Guys. The movie I don't like him in was The Scorpion King. That was stupid.
Yep. Yeah.
I liked him as the Scorpion King in the Mummy 2.
You
and the
mean
Mummy Return.
with the terrible unfinished CGI?
Yeah, the terrible CGI. He wasn't bad in that, like his story, but the ScorpionKing movie was like unwatchable. That was pretty bad. Anybody see him in Hercules?
No, I wanted to, but I never saw that one.
I did.
Was that last year?
Last year, the year before.
How was that?
The movie, with so many of his projects, not so many, a few of his projects, the movie was a train wreck, but I thought he was pretty good in it.
Okay.
And it's funny, there's a scene where he's chained down, he's got chains on both of his arms, and he's chained to the ground, and the villain in the movie is taunting him, and he strained so hard for the shot in this movie, he actually passed out.
Really?
Like, while they were making the movie, because he was trying to put so much into it. He was actually trying to break the chains in real life, and he pulled and strained so hard he passed out. And you can see it in the movie. He is just every vein in his arm, and he's just screaming. It's actually a really cool scene.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Of course, why me and Ken originally liked The Rock so much is because he started out wrestling.
Yeah.
His wrestling career was great, but I love him even more now because he came back. He became so successful, but then he came back. He came back that 1 year right before WrestleMania. That was probably for me one of the most shocking returns because when he left, I never thought he would be back. Like they cut ties with him. They were no longer mentioning him. They weren't talking about his movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, he's just done. He's an actor now. And then they were doing this thing where there was going to be a special guest host of WrestleMania. And this car door opens and these ladies like high heels walk out, and I'm like, what is this? This is another one of these stupid who's this coming? Stephanie McMahon or something. And then his music hit, and I tell you what, I never heard a crowd go crazy like that. Place went insane, and I'm like, you're kidding me! Like I was so stunned by it. And he came out. That's when he came out and started that feud with John Cena.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite moments in wrestling because it was so cool to see him back. Like he always does the goosebumps thing. I had it like watching. I was like, holy shit! I can't believe he's back.
I just love watching him come. He makes wrestling better.
He makes wrestling so much better.
Even all right. So The Rock this year WrestleMania was kind of lame, but
it was a little over the top. Yeah.
With flamethrowers and
But you need him there.
Yeah.
He just has to be there. When he does a surprise Monday Night Raw thing, like remember the time Rusev was in the ring and they were in New York?
Yeah.
And he's just going on and on about how bad New York sucks and The Rock's music's hit. And like he texted me, he was like, "You're gonna be happy in about 5 minutes," because he was ahead of me. And I'm like, and he just come out and made fun of him, and it's just hilarious. Yeah. Everything about it was great. My favorite moment of him in wrestling, though, is the time him and Mick Foley Mankind did the "This Is Your Life" for him.
And that was one of the highest rated things on Raw.
It was like The Rock's birthday or something, and he did a "This Is Your Life," and he had like his high school coach come out, this teacher, and Rock like went off on all of them that came out, like making fun of them. And
was that when he was turned heel?
He was like the anti-hero. He was like a badass, him and Mick Foley were tag partners.
Yeah, they were sort of like friends, but he didn't want to admit that. Man, he used to call him like an asshole and a dirty, get out of my face. But then they were like partners; they'd help each other.
The Rock would The Rock wanted nothing to do with the tag team, but Mick Foley had a jacket that said the Rock and Sock connection on it. It's like all into it, and the Rock's like, I don't want to be like, didn't want to be.
He wanted no part of it, but then they would kind of help each other, and he just kept bringing out all these people. And like he was talking to his teacher and used to check the rock strudel out, and he was saying all this stuff and
so much
and he was
pie
like
references.
there was something about some girl of one of his first crushes. He like used to like to make pancakes. Why don't you pancake your ass back onto the thing and it's something to her. And he was just yelling at all of them that they were coming out, and it's hilarious. It's it's a good YouTube watch to watch it. You know, Mick Foley's so excited that he's like all depressed because the Rock doesn't like his
Because it's
gift.
perfect because it makes a great straight man for The Rock to be like and just take the abuse. And I think it ended with them being tag team partners, but he rock bottoms Mick Foley, I think, at the end of it. And then they're fine because Mick was like, whatever.
He's such a natural in the ring, which so many people have tried to emulate it, and you can't. It's just natural in there. The wit is natural. He just gets him. Him and Cena had great chemistry in the ring, great feuds. Because that was actually a little bit of truth in there with the two of them not liking each other. But it's good. He was great.
Wrestling beef.
Well, Cena gave him some crap about like he left and abandoned the business. And then when he came back, they started a feud about it. You know?
Which, you know.
And he used to say that Cena would wear Fruity Pebble shirts and Fruity Pebble chants would break out.
And then Fruity Pebbles sponsored Cena to be on the cover of their boxes.
It was great. It was great. I mean, he started all. He'll say something, then it's trending then on Twitter, like within a couple seconds. Like, imagine having that kind of power. You just make a statement and then it's just trending, you know. But yeah, he's great.
Yep.
So.
Love The Rock.
So what about you, Ken?
What?
What's your favorite moment?
Oh, wrestling moment? I loved him in the Nation Domination. Whenever he was becoming like a badass and coming into it, like making himself who he is. Like, young Rock is great. I could watch it all day.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We could probably talk for 2 hours about The Rock.
Yeah. Just because I want to see you get this in the video.
Okay.
My favorite Rock is from the Rundown, and it's when they eat that weird fruit and get taken up in the tree by the traps and the monkeys. It's the monkey scene from the Rundown is my favorite because he's like half passed out, slurring his words. Don't do it, monkey. Don't do it.
That's a great scene. Those monkeys are all over him. That's good stuff.
So,
all right, so take us out.
Well, thanks for listening. You can follow, like, subscribe, share on all of our social media that I talked about at the beginning. And thanks for listening.
If you smell what the podcast is cooking, cue the music.